Two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Monday statements and questions here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. I think the three of us watched all the football we could watch. Got the national title game tonight, too. Very exciting.
You've got the national title game.
You've got the national title game.
Yeah, I mean,
wake up.
I'll watch it, but you're going to be like dressed
I'm going to
up
be
as a
at
leprechaun.
I will be at an official Notre Dame watch party tonight. Yes.
Now the truth comes out.
There's like a local Notre Dame, my guy Chris Long, who grew up a Notre Dame fan from Indiana. So we're gonna go find like the hot spot Notre Dame bar, and we are in tonight, baby.
I was with you in Longer's party room when Alabama kicked their ass, and I will say this: Longer was despondent.
It was bad.
Then. He was really despondent. You were not despondent. You
well,
were
I
like,
saw it coming.
Yeah, right. I expected this.
It's like the Notre Dame linebacker had a fake girlfriend leading into the game that got exposed. Like
Longer,
there's no way their head's on the game.
I'm like, Longer, are you really surprised? I mean, it's Bama. He was not. He was
blindsided. I think. Well, we'll see. They're definitely underdogs. Marcus Freeman, though, there's a motivational speaker in there.
Tell us about Marcus Freeman.
Well, I'm not. Well, we'll see what happens tonight when they roll the ball out on the field. 60 minutes.
They're gonna roll the ball out.
Yeah.
Okay, go to it, guys.
Doop, 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 doop. All right, Monday statements and questions. Judd, why don't you roll the ball out?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many good ones here, but I'm just gonna start with a simple one because I love sports. I love football, and my statement is there is nothing better than football in the snow, the elements. That I thought.
Does it make you wish that we weren't so weak here for the last 40 years, playing inside domes, indoor stadiums?
You know, at times it does, but I also get like from the Seattle game. You know, a day like today when it drops to like 8 below,
or like yesterday too.
Yeah,
like they could have been playing a home game if it.
Oh yeah,
it would have been minus 10.
In 2015 was what? I think it was like a legit minus 7 or 8 when it started.
Wow.
So
I think with wind chill, it was like minus 30.
Yeah, probably was.
It was well below single digit minus cold, like real feel.
But that Eagles-Rams game to me was so much fun. Because, like, the first half is being played, and Tirico's like, the snow is coming. We're told the snow is coming. And then it starts, and it paid itself off. Like, it was a legit snow. And I saw notes about, I prefer this game be played indoors and the best team wins. Okay, first of all, it's football. Second of all, I think the best team did win in the end. And third of all, it was so much fun.
It adds character, it adds layers, it adds memories.
Yeah,
the conditions are the same for both teams. It is funny though when you watch offensive linemen and defensive linemen try to tango, 320 pounders try to stay on their feet,
or guys that don't change their cleats, and so they're just falling like
that's the equipment manager, man. You're on the hot seat there. The weather changes at halftime, and you got to make sure you got the right studs or cleats on those feet.
I feel like, and even when the poor holder has to clear a spot for a field goal, they have to clear a spot. I feel, and I think the play clock doesn't run for that. I think it should. I think it should be involved with running. If there's snow on the ground, there should be no stopping. No, you have to get that ball hiked in 40 seconds. I don't care if the elements are there. Hike the ball.
Get your ass to the line of scrimmage, and
I didn't even think of that. I love that.
Yeah,
soft. Okay, I have a question. Question. You know what? I'll form it this way. Is this a hot take?
Look at this.
Think about the career arc here now. Like right now, this is absurd, but if Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes this upcoming weekend, there is still a chance that Josh Allen could finish his career as the more decorated quarterback between the two of them 10 years from now.
Man. I mean, yes. Like, yes. If
he's got to start getting the Super Bowls. I understand that.
That's a hot take.
But Tom Brady got his third, and then from 27 to 37, the well went dry. we're getting like this fully formed, fully realized version of Josh Allen. Have you guys noticed? He doesn't take negative plays anymore. So I was digging around just out of curiosity because it kind of seemed anecdotally like, yeah, he doesn't even take sacks anymore. So 2 years ago, sacks, interceptions, fumbles combined, Josh Allen took 60 of them in 2022. And you still got a bunch of touchdowns and yardage. Like he was just kind of like the Russell Westbrook of the NFL. So 60 of them 2 years ago. This year in the regular season, only 25 combined sacks, interceptions, and fumbles. For context, that's half as many as Mahomes. Sam Darnold took like 48 sacks alone, not to mention the double-digit interceptions and then fumbles and whatever. So you're getting in terms of upside, touchdowns, yardage, usage, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time right now, and he has stopped taking sacks and turning the ball over. While Patrick Mahomes is kind of like the last 2 years, his numbers have declined. He's going to lose Travis Kelce as a 35, 36-year-old to retirement to Swifty land at some point. I think this upcoming weekend is a huge pivot point, to use a buzz phrase.
So are
in the career arc of Josh Allen. Elway got a couple late.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take just given the fact, not that Josh is not a great quarterback, but just with what Mahomes currently has. And like he's being called, right or wrong, by a lot of people, the greatest of all time right now.
Yeah, but there's 10 years of story to be written here still.
So I think that it's, but you're just asking, does this, your question was, does this qualify as a hot take as we sit here in January of 2025? And I think that the answer is yes, but the end result will be fascinating to see.
Oh. I mean, he is. And then poor Lamar Jackson sitting over there. It's like the guy, you like one bad play in the first half, and it's the entire difference. And people are clowning your legacy, but those are the guys you're competing against in the AFC.
You also have two quarterbacks that I know Judd loves. One in Josh Allen. He's proposing to his girlfriend in season. Patrick Mahomes' family just welcomed a new baby this last week.
Mid-season.
Lot of great external noise going on with the two best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Fantastic. That's great. Congratulations.
Travis Kelce maybe considering a proposal at some point.
Congratulations to them all. Oh, he can do it. Who cares?
Do you think he'll do it like on the field after they win their third straight Super Bowl?
He's a Kelce. He might.
Yeah, he might.
Like they know no boundaries of like privacy,
No.
which is sort of
It's crazy.
interesting because I wonder how that works. Like because I feel like Taylor Swift would like some privacy, and perhaps Travis does.
What? She's like out at bars and stuff.
Oh right, no, but I'm
paparazzi.
But I'm saying, like, does she want to be proposed to? Like, to your point, on the
intimate
field
fashion.
So you're saying like does she want the proposal?
Yeah,
to be
that's
public?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think I mean
Probably.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
I mean,
then.
she sits front and center. Let's bring Caitlin
With
Clark
with
in.
Caitlin
like
Clark.
It's,
How about
my
Caitlin
my
Clark and
longtime good
Travis
friend
Kelce?
Caitlin Clark.
And Taylor Swift.
Are those the two most famous in terms of like entertainment, sports, pop culture? The two most famous women in the United States sitting next to each other in a suite.
I thought of that, but I don't know for sure because are there singers that are more famous to key demographics than like Caitlin Clark is as an athlete? I don't know.
We just gave My Talk their 1A talker today from 4 to 6. You're welcome, Kendall. Kendall and Brittany, you just got it. You just got it.
Oh,
You just got it.
Like if you're saying
great.
if you replaced, I mean Taylor is certainly like
Yeah.
that famous.
Give me another singer. Who
If
might
you were to
be-
replace like Caitlin Clark with Dua Lipa or Beyonce or something.
Generations like right now, like Sabrina Carpenter for Gen Zs is just on a whole new level. So
Is
like,
she more famous among the greater 300 million population than Caitlin Clark, do you think?
I don't know. I think it's close. I think it's closer than you think.
Yeah,
I think it's closer.
it's not
than
a
you
hot
think.
take.
She should
That's
just
not
do
a
that.
hot
Just
take.
bring in like a crazy Uber celebrity to sit next to her and pretend to be a Chiefs fan. Although apparently Caitlin like grew up a Chiefs fan.
Des Moines,
Is
yeah.
that, is that true? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I'll rip this Band-Aid off because you know what? My statement is big fan of Kirk Cousins, the analyst. Big fan of Kirk Cousins, the analyst. This is my favorite version of Kirko, and that includes Kirko chains. That includes Dad Cole's Cash Kirk. I think Kirk Cousins, the analyst, is going to be the best version of Kirk. He was
Trench coat
poised.
Kirk.
Yeah, trench coat. I mean,
He was good.
he was bundled up, and it was obviously colder than you know what we're living it right now here in Minnesota. But I think his analyst work. I think this is going to work out great. Like I would love to hear him actually in the booth too, because those are two very different types of stuff. But I would love to hear some more analyst Kirk. Let's lean into it. I'm a big fan of it.
The one thing that the thing that impressed me the most on Saturday was when Scott Van Pelt's mic went out and he was like talking and he didn't know. And then somebody, the producer said in Ryan Clark's earpiece, start talking because we can't hear Scott. And Clark sort of who's great, was sort of flummoxed. And Kirko just
kind of down on Clark.
Really? Well, anyway, Kirko picked up the ball and like started to host the show.
He did. That's leadership right there, man.
Like that is impressive. And that is like, you're a newbie. The one thing I thought that Kirk, and this goes back to if you have a personality and are any good at this is why I love when like current quarterbacks or guys who just left the game, because they can speak to current personnel and strategies like nobody. And it's weird. When Romo started in 2017, he was great. And I still think he's fine. But like you can tell, like the distance from the game for him has cost him knowledge, which was his currency. Kirko had it, which I thought made that spot a really, really good call to bring him in, because he was telling you things that you don't necessarily think about that he knows.
Yeah, I don't think in terms of like the pregame, postgame, you got to be really willing to criticize your peers and criticize people.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes to ruffle feathers in that way. And also there's a certain self-deprecating nature about him. He's out there literally just like laughing at the notion that him and Patrick Mahomes even play the same position. But in the negotiating room, he'll damn well with his agent tell you how good he is compared to those top quarterbacks to get the $45 million. I think if people took this as an insult on Twitter yesterday, I think he's going to be great as a color commentator next to like Spiro Ditas in the CBS booth.
Yeah, so that.
Doing games on Sundays.
What's wrong with that?
Like the third or fourth team, because he's not passing Tony Romo unless Romo retires. But I could see him as like second, third, fourth team, CBS, do 17 games a year, and just be like a likable, fun, explain what's happening on the field. Kind of like what Mark Sanchez didn't have the career, at least statistically, that Kirk does. But Mark Sanchez comes in knowing that he was not one of the top quarterbacks in the league and brings a fun, different perspective to color commentating. And I think Kirk could be great at that and make a lot of money.
That's what I was just going to ask you. What is Kirk's asking price?
Well, how much do those guys like Mark Sanchez, like Romo gets 20 million or 25 million. We know that. But once you go further down the pecking order where you're not doing the featured national game, you're doing more of the regional stuff. Are those guys making $1 million, a couple million?
I would guess Mark Sanchez does, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Because he's on like the number 3 team.
And then they'll throw him on like Fox Sports 1 and do stuff
I bet
during
he
the
makes
week.
That.
Okay. So Kirko maybe gets one more year, maybe goes and plays for old Kevin Stefanski. That was part of it too, just like the PR. Hey, here he is. Look at Kirko, super likable. Don't you want him on your team?
That was the first appearance by Netflix Kirk since that series ended. That was Netflix Kirk again. He is likable. He's good at that.
Yeah, it was genius.
He's a relatable dude when he wants to be.
Judd, before we dive into your next statement or question, MSP Plumbing and Heating. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely, because guess what? Commitment is one of the most important words at MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air. For over a century now, families have relied on MSP for all their plumbing, drains, heating, and cooling needs. As a 100% family-owned and operated business, MSP is committed to taking care of your family, and that's right. At this time of year when it's 20 below outside, guess what? That furnace has to be working and has to be right, and MSP is going to take care of that right now. Get $50 off any HVAC or plumbing repair. Give them a call, 651-615-4292, or check out their website. Call MSP.com. Call MSP.com to make sure that your house is safe and sound and toasty at a time of year when it absolutely has to be.
Speaking of toasty, I think today might be a good day to throw a Pep's Legit pizza in the oven. That crunchy crust, stone-baked, cracker-thin, crunchy crust with zesty tomato sauce, whole milk mozzarella, exceptional ingredients, signature spice topping. Maybe throw a little crushed red pepper on there too. Legit pizzas are incredible. I like to slice those things Minnesota style into squares too to get the full experience. Kind of a throwback childhood pizzeria experience with Pep's Legit Pizza, which you can find inside grocery stores all around the Twin Cities to have an authentic at-home pizza parlor experience.
All right. Big picture NFL, watching all the playoff games. My statement is this: replay assist needs to be used all the time, and it needs to replace, not eliminate, but replace some challenges. Here's one, though, where it could have been fixed in a second. And by the way, they did fix it last week. They didn't fix it this time because the league does what they want. That face mask call in the Lions game on the Commanders, where the guy grabbed the guy's shoulder pads and the official thought he saw, and look, I'm not even faulting him, okay? It's a fast-moving game. If you're in the wrong place, you can certainly be deceived, but the official thought he saw a face mask, and they penalized it. All you have to do in an instant is call down. You don't need to have some type of long, we're going to look at this. You've got a guy who's the eye in the sky, who just watches the replay and calls down and says, not a face mask. And here's the precedent that was set. The Rams-Vikings game, okay? No flag thrown, clear face mask missed in the playoff game. And mysteriously, all of a sudden the official says, we've huddled up and decided that there was a face mask. And as Joe Buck said, don't they have to throw a flag? Which the answer is, of course, yes.
But who cares about those semantics?
That's my point. But here's the thing too that makes it so simple. Okay, so there's you currently don't allow this. Well, first of all, it needs to be fixed. But second of all, that game on Saturday, just lie and do what you did in the Rams game and say, we huddled up, my colleague Ralph, who had a better view than me, saw that it was not a face mask.
And Ralph is nodding yep,
yeah, what? But what are we doing here? Why are we? You have the ability. Everyone in the stadium saw that, and it doesn't need to be challenged because a challenge, which is fine, takes time. But I mean, you literally could have fixed that in 2 seconds. What are we doing?
It's so weird. And I thought I saw one of the, was it the current or former officiating? What is Walt? Is Walt Anderson just he's just like a commentator now, right?
No, I think he's the current head of officiating. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
so. I saw a clip where he was explaining why they don't do the 15-yard penalties as part of, and I'll admit, I just saw a couple quotes, but the way that they twist themselves into a pretzel to avoid reviewing crucial 15-yard penalties. Yep. Was it a face mask or was it not? Was it roughing the quarterback or was it not? Yep. Just have somebody up there watching in slow motion with a better angle of it.
But they do.
And then if it crosses a certain point, yeah, I know that's what. But allow them and empower them to say, hey, by the way, that you guys missed this, but Sam Darnold almost got his head ripped off via face mask. I know nobody threw a flag, but let's get this right.
Yeah. Well, and then they did that.
It's so weird.
In the Rams-Vikings playoff game. And the other thing, too, is a face mask is not subjective.
Yeah.
You could argue, well, the official saw this or that on like a PI call, right? A face mask is literally you grab the face mask or you didn't. It's just ridiculous.
And I know that they have to draw some lines because let's say a 40-yard play happens and there's no flag, but then the replay assist guy sees that, actually the left tackle had a handful of jersey there. I'm the only one that knows it because I have this angle that they don't have. So there should be some guardrails, but yeah. Okay. I just want to say, I think it's going to get done, but my statement is it is ridiculous that Kevin O'Connell does not have a 4-year contract extension signed, sealed, and in the rearview mirror. we're sitting here now a week and change past the Vikings season coming to an end, or a week, I guess. It's a Monday night game, right? And the fact that it's even like a talking point and that there's any drama at all whatsoever is bizarre. And I think it's going to happen probably in the next couple weeks, but the fact that it isn't done yet is kind of wild to me. So that's my statement.
It makes no sense. Like, what are we doing again? What are we doing? Like,
just give him a check and say, be sort of fair, but like Andy Reid makes this much money, so you pick a number under Andy Reid, and we will sign it.
But what's sort of weird is from the press conference that O'Connell did was that Wednesday now? It does feel like there's tension there. Like, that's what's weird about it. It's like this very unnecessary drama playing out, and I have no clue why. Okay, he wants more control. Okay, let's talk about that.
Cool, here's some more control.
Yeah, right. But I mean, it's like
here's the 53. You get the 53, the full control.
It's very weird that it feels like there's something going on behind the scenes when you have finally appeared to have gotten things right.
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Last one from me. Can someone please stop the Dodgers? Can this spending? This team on paper is by far
their payroll?
The greatest baseball team that's like on paper that's ever been assembled. I saw Trevor Plouffe talking about this, and it's
all deferred, Dex.
And it's either you hate this or you love this for the Dodgers. I think the majority of people probably fall more in the hate than the love part. But they already have a team that has Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Yamamoto was a great rookie. Tyler Glasnow's their fifth starter. He's an ace on 2/3 of teams in the Major League Baseball. And they're signing Blake Snell. They brought back Teoscar Hernandez. They obviously got Sasaki this weekend. Just something has to be done here.
Taylor Scott?
Yeah.
Tanner
Scott?
Tanner
Scott.
Sorry,
you know what's crazy, though, is I know that this is skewed because the money for Ohtani is deferred largely to the future. But the Phillies actually have the highest payroll, just ahead of the Dodgers at $279 million. Which is crazy. So you got Phillies, Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, all above 260. And then all the way at the bottom, in the same sport, you've got the Marlins at $42 million, the A's at $54 million, the Rays at $59 million, and the White Sox at $61 million. In the same sport. It's EPL, man. Like, it is becoming the English Premier League, where you got 20 teams in the league, but really 10 of them are only competing to not be relegated.
But the answer to Dex's question is it can be stopped. They have to have some type of salary structure. This is past the point of, if you have a salary cap, it's not fair to the players because they can, this is going to be the single biggest problem, as far as interest and destruction goes, right?
Because if you're the Dodgers or the Yankees, why would you want this to stop?
Well, but that's the thing is it's going to have to get nasty internally with the owners and then with the players.
Because if I own the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets, Steve Cohen, I'm saying, wait a second. So you're asking if I would like to subsidize competition so that the Marlins and the Rays and the A's, who don't make any money compared to us and don't win games, usually, the Rays do, you're asking me to give them money so that they can beat us more frequently.
Yes.
And for the betterment of the sport, the answer is yes.
Yes.
That'd be
great. Yes. Yes. And I want you, and besides that, guys, I want you to share your TV cash as well. The revenue that you get from TV, I want it shared.
Local
TV. Oh, yeah, because the national is. But the point is, this isn't fun. Sorry, it's not fun.
It's because if you for a third of the league, though, it's a blast if you're the Phillies right now and you get to just spend your way into contention again.
And why are the Dodgers allowed to defer? This is also crazy. If you look at the amount of deferrals starting with Ohtani's contract,
it's crazy.
Explain it to me.
By the way, I think it was the Cubs owner that went. One last quick thing here, and we'll go. I think it was the Cubs owner that ranted. Was it at their fan fest about? Yes. Fans think that we just have this unlimited supply because we're worth $1 billion or whatever. No, we spend within our business. He said what we say all the time. Now, of course, the Cubs right now are 12th in payroll, which probably doesn't align with the business they bring in as a top 3 media market. And
I think he's talking about all of their baseball-related cash.
yes.
But the fact is he owns a ton of stuff around the ballpark now. So if you threw that in, I think the Cubs could probably very easily get to top 5 on a revenue basis.
Yeah. So go Twins, I guess, is the...
Hey, Twins Fest coming up this weekend.
That's right. Hey, Twins fans. All right, those are the statements and questions here on Minnesota Sports with Mackey and Judd. We got a scoop session tomorrow for you guys. See ya.